Hello and welcome to the main Protagonist podcast. My name is Casper and this here is a local teenager who got all his political opinions from South Park.
Jesus.
Would you share your current views on the recent political turmoil in... pick any place, really.
I don't want to pick any place. I think I've had enough political drama in the last few weeks.
So how's Member Pig doing?
Member Pig is doing tired, actually. But in a good way, I suppose. I've done a lot of things.
Yes, we shall suffer the wrath of Member Pig today specifically.
Yeah, I want to apologize in advance because, well, the set has changed slightly. And I did a lot of work to fix things. And I've started a company and I've been busy. So I haven't had a lot of time to actually...
Unload about that for a while. Because I took another sad name for the heading for how we're doing. But really, you've been doing pretty damn well.
Well, it's a good kind of stress, but one I haven't experienced in a while.
Success. I haven't experienced this in forever.
Well, that's not the case. It's just that, when you're salaried, you don't have to think about 99% of all things that go on beyond anything behind the curtain. And I'm someone that can't just go by the seat of my pants. I have to fix everything to minute details. However, that doesn't seem on this podcast. But you know from experience with me going on vacation, I like to have everything pre-planned and not to an extreme degree, but at least have a general knowledge of whatever I'm going to do.
Yeah, and that is why we gel so well, because I hate having to organize things.
Yeah.
I hate having to organize my fun.
And I'm very okay with that. But to that extent, starting a company has been very stressful in that regard. I'm not going to name drop anything here because we're still in the planning phases and investment thingies.
He's not in a multi-level marketing scheme. He is actually starting a real company.
Yes, that. So that has been taking a lot of my time. I have also been re-medicated with some new medication. Well, as most know by this point, I have autism, but I also have I had a form of ADHD. I mean, it's on the same spectrum, so it's kind of logical to expect. But I don't have the classical symptoms of ADHD, so I never got the medication that I needed. I have the scatterbrained shotgun mindset, so everything just goes everywhere, and it's never silent in my head. And I haven't been able to focus for the last, 6-7 years on anything for longer than... take it 5-6 minutes. I can't even watch anime without having my phone open, having 2 games and a fucking background video to just fill the void. So I have been medicated with dexamphetamine. And yes, that is amphetamines.
I'm gonna take your word for it because I don't know what that means.
Well, do you know meth?
Yes.
It's meth.
Sweet.
Because meth is methamphetamine. So yeah, it uses the same base molecule, just a little bit branched out and less horrendously addicting. But it helps me focus a lot. And it has given me renewed focus for a while. So yeah, I'm absolutely in fucking love with that.
We should say, you can't quite see it, but he has also been renovating this whole place. We are in a much tidier lair now.
Yes.
Especially in terms of games.
Yes, definitely. I was about to say, you can't really see it from this angle. You just see this little piece of ingenuity. Just to give a friend of us some credit, he knew exactly that these tables line out to be 19-inch. Like rack mount 19-inch. Mm-hmm. And the things under the table are 19-inch rack mountable stuff. So this just perfectly fits. So we used table. Yeah, you're going to hear my cat in the background because he doesn't want to be in a room with airco. That's too noisy for him. And, it's going to be 26 degrees here. So that's what's that in Fahrenheit? 85-ish. And all my windows are... Well, the sun comes up from the left side of my window and sets in the right side of my window. So there's
maximum exposure.
There's just sun. So it gets to be 40 degrees or 100 degrees Fahrenheit at 3 p.m. So yeah, I can't really force my cat into the airco room. That would be fucking sad. Yeah, Yeah, so I've been doing actually pretty well. Just very, very busy with things.
Yeah, by comparison, what I've been doing is just mostly insignificant.
Mundane life stuff.
Yeah, mundane life stuff. Just working on my end, working a little too much, maybe, but I've recently kind of semi-rediscovered a love for cooking.
Yeah, I wanted to touch on that because your mom went to the faraway place of vacation.
Yes.
And not to be a dick, no, definitely to be a dick, you have not been known to be the most self-sufficient person. Maybe you do not experience it like that, but literally everyone in my friend group is like, oh Jesus, he has to care for himself. And you're capable. I'm not saying you're incapable. You just never did it that much.
Yeah, that is something. That is something that I realize. But
yeah,
how should I put this? Like, as a kid, teenager, you see your parents doing things. Assuming you have parents.
Jesus.
You
Shot through the heart.
You see your legal guardians doing a whole lot of things that you eventually have to learn yourself. But in these kind of moments, you realize just how little attention you actually pay to those things. You've seen it 1,000 times. More than 1,000 times, probably. And then you have to clean something like the toilet. Like, which of these colorful chemical packages
do I need to insert to this drain?
Yes, what makes the toilet clean and what makes a strange smell come out that will probably kill me?
Yeah, it's very mundane stuff, and especially for me, because, well, my legal guardian wasn't particularly... Sorry, cat. My legal guardian wasn't particularly,
legal.
Well, very legal, but how do I say this? She tried to make me grow up real fast. Let's just keep it at that. So I have been doing this stuff since I was like 8, 9.
Yeah.
So it's very strange for me to see someone who is, well, in my eyes, a bit pampered.
No, that's fair. I should specify.
This cat is not going to... Tohmo, come here.
You want to be part of the podcast? You want to be your main protagonist?
Come on, get over here.
No, now he doesn't want it.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
What I was about to say. You made me lose it, Tohmo. I should specify. I'm not your typical lives in mother's basement millennial. I actually live on my own.
Just that his mother lived with you.
My family lives in my basement.
Yes.
That I do not have.
Also, they're not gagged.
Because, oh wow, the housing market is fucked.
Well, you were very lucky. Your luck stat was like, you rolled a very natural 20 there.
Yeah, I rolled a 20 on luck, and then I rolled a 19 on intimidation / bluff.
Well, you had the unbelievable luck, because the housing market in like 2014, 15, 16 was absolute shit in the Netherlands. You could buy a house for 100k, which is unbelievable by today's standards.
200.
Well, you could actually buy for 100k, but then you're just in the fucking middle of nowhere and you have a shit house. But
oh no, you mean in general? In general, yes.
In general, yes.
I thought you were specifically referring to...
No, absolutely not. That would be downplaying your house a lot. No.
I did not pay 100k for my house.
No. I'm not implying that. No, and you just came into a very nice job, considering which school we did.
Yeah.
So, are you going to stop, for fuck's sake? Why are you being this noisy?
It's coming your way.
Good. Come here. Come here, you little shit.
But yes, continue.
So you were very opportune to get an actual loan or mortgage and get the house from your stepfather, actually.
Yeah.
So that was pretty lucky.
Yeah, because he had to be bought out to pay off a... I don't know what the official word is in English, but it's a scam mortgage.
Yeah.
A mortgage that was just, oh yeah, you pay it off whenever. And that's the... Unless you're very closely paying attention to that and make very concerted effort, that was just not... it's not ideal compared to traditional mortgages.
And, well, we went a bit off target there, but I just wanted to say that you sent me some photos of what you actually cooked, and I gotta say, yeah, that looked pretty fucking impressive.
Yeah, the best meal I made was a stir fry of shiitake mushrooms, slices of beef with a bunch of vegetables and in black bean sauce. And that just came out so perfectly.
Yeah, you sent me the photo. That actually looked very nice. Yeah, I'm the simple kind of cooking dude. I cook extravagant for friends.
But that's nice, though. I do have to say that there was a misunderstanding between me and my sister, who also lives with me. The whole fucking family lives with me.
What's left of it by this point? Sorry, you had to do it.
Fair. Because we went into this saying, okay, well, we're gonna have to live on our own. Let's both pick 3 dishes that we're gonna cook. And then we have, effectively, food for 6 days.
Yeah.
And then on one day we can do takeout or something. So we went with that plan, and I found 3 dishes, and I made them, customized them a bit to make it palatable to the both of us. And that worked out. And then, but then I realized that my sister's plans were self-made pizza, self-made taco, self-made burrito.
Yes. Yeah, that sounds pretty bare bones.
There was a difference in expectations.
Yes.
And I'll take pizza, absolutely, but I felt like a little bit of a show-off when I showed up with my shiitake mushrooms.
Yeah. I can understand that part, yeah.
But lest we get lost in renovations and family life and cooking, let's actually return to the topic of this show, which I believe is anime or something.
Anime, games, nerddom.
Yeah.
General life. General life with nerds.
General nerd life. It's the Big Bang Theory here, except good.
Except we're socially less awkward. And there are no hot girls.
Unfortunately. No, he's male.
Oh yeah, this pushy is male. It should be, that's a possibility now with all that gender fluidity.
Yeah, he's a little bit genderqueer, isn't he?
Yeah.
I mean, look at that face.
He likes this.
Yeah, how was the Annie-ton, which I believe was yesterday?
Yeah, we had to move that thing to yesterday. So we actually watched some anime, which is a rare thing by today's standards.
Shock.
So we finished Kobayashi S. Second season of Kobayashi, Mr. Dragon, the Dragon Meat, Kobayashi, blah, 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 blah.
Yes, which I still absolutely adore the rap trailer for. That was fucking brilliant. If the show is anything like that, I'll... Fuck yeah.
Yeah, I have to say, it's a bit of a letdowning comparison to season 1, but maybe... Well, it's not rose-tinted glass. I've seen that not too long ago. So, it has the charm of the first season...
Okay.
But it doesn't have as much of a message as the first season. Like coming to terms with living with people and...
mortality.
Taking responsibility for the emotions of other people, yada yada. It does still do that, but it feels a bit more watered down. More like it does... This isn't the thought that... It's a very Japanese thing in general, but it feels more tangenty here. As in overthinking a situation that doesn't need overthinking.
Would you say that... based on how you say that, the first thing that comes to my mind is like they've done these concepts and now they're just reiterating on things they've already explored. Is it like that?
A bit of that. They're branching out, but the core question remains the same. Yeah. They're just branching more, and that constitutes, to me at least, more overthinking. Like one of the questions the character asks is, am I even worthy of being friends with this person? And I'm like, that is not your responsibility to think about, you dumb bitch.
Yeah, that's one that I've seen too often in anime. That's just kind of a lame plot.
Yeah, I really don't like that. Because, first off, the person that's friend with you is responsible for deciding if they want to be friends with you. You don't have to think about it. You can ask it for, like, what do you see in me, or why do you want to be friends with me? That's fine.
Mm-hmm.
But I really despise just people thinking like, oh man... He's better off without me. I'm just a hurdle. No, if he wants to be with you, in any capacity, that's fine. His choice. And if you don't trust our choice to judge that, then you're the dumbass.
When you said be with you, I just immediately got a Chobits OP in my head.
Oh, for fuck's sake. Yeah.
That's not getting out anytime soon.
Ooh, yeah.
That was the gayest way to sing that song ever.
Yes!
Thank you.
It's you. I have to do it gay way.
But so,
yeah.
So, what would you say rated? Because what is Kobayashi to you in terms of numerical value and versus S?
Okay, yeah, I'm asinine with scores. I'm very asinine with scores because I usually like to look a bit more objectively and far more split up at things. And especially music things, because I just like, as you say it, I like beep boops.
Beep boops.
And a slight bit more than the average person. But considering I think I judged Kobayashi the original season to be an 8.3, I think.
Yeah, that's where I would put it too.
Yeah, because the animation is stellar, the music is stellar, and it's already reiterating on itself with Kobayashi S, as in the ending is literally a motif of Ishikan Communication, the ending of season 1. Okay. It literally starts with the motif of the same thing. So it has the same notes and such.
Oh, that's actually kind of sweet.
It's sweet. But I want to remind you, they're already reiterating on a show that's only 24 episodes. And One Piece does this, but One Piece has 1,000 episodes. It can reiterate and call back to motifs of itself. But doing that only after 1 or 2 seasons is a bit asinine, I think.
Yeah.
That's just trying to pull people in with, well, in my opinion, laziness.
Okay, yes.
Because you're not making a new song, something to specifically remind them of season 2. No, you're trying to pull them back to season 1. And I know I'm harping a little bit too hard on the song. The song is fine, but I just don't like that they already use a motif from the first season.
You lost me there for a moment because you said for a show that's only 24 episodes long, which meant that in its totality. I was like, wait a second, Kobayashi season 1 was only 12.
Exactly.
I briefly forgot how numbers work.
But yeah, and the opening is fine too. It's just not the first. Everything screams Kobayashi, but just not the first season of quality.
Okay.
Because the animation is still stellar and there are still emotional conflicts and it's still very fucking wholesome and very nicely animated. It just loses itself a little bit in what it is. It's just trying to dearly hang on to that first season for all it's worth. And yeah, as I said, I'm not a particular fan of that. Just to compare that to something that's in the same vein, just with less extravagance, is Non-Non-Byorei. I mean, everything in Non-Non-Byorei is the same, but at least it doesn't call back to itself in a pulling way. I mean, yes,
it has its self-references.
Yes, it has callbacks to earlier seasons, but those are callbacks to story things, and they're not trying to pull you with music and literal things from, oh, look, it's an image that was also in the first season. I think that's just a bit cheap. Non-Non-Byorei the example being the girl that was on vacation in the village.
Yeah, she goes back at some point.
Yeah, she came back. So that's sweet and wholesome.
Yeah, totally. And that makes sense too.
Yeah, that makes sense, and I really like that. But then you get Kobayashi, it's just the motif of the song and the general things that just desperately want you to remind it of its first season without thinking of the second. It just seems a bit like they couldn't think of anything.
Well, they
to say bluntly.
They got a new character, right? The Oppai Loli.
The Oppai Loli, yeah. She doesn't really... Her arc was literally pretty stupid. She comes, I'm evil bad guy. Lol, no, you need a hug. Done.
Don't we all?
Yeah, but that was literally the entire thing. Also, she turned Kobayashi into a guy. Yeah, like she cares, honestly. That's still the character point that I like the most about Kobayashi, her utter nonchalance to any situation.
Well, it's fine. It's good that it still has that, at least.
Oh, yeah, the characters are still fine. It's just the cheap callbacks that I don't like. That makes it feel a bit watered down, but since there's no real overarching plot, it just tries to make little arcs of its own. But most of the drama is pretty forced. because it gets into that Japanese mindset of overthinking everything and just not communicating with each other. And that gets very tiring very fast. But I still really enjoyed watching it. On a score-wise, I would still rate it like 7.5.
Okay.
I mean, the music is still good. It's just a bit tangenty.
I'm probably gonna watch it myself at some point, but
I'd still recommend it, but I think you're just going to see what I've seen.
Yeah. It's probably not the kind of sequel that would necessitate I rewrite my review of it.
No, definitely not. You don't get any special info that you didn't get from the first season. Because if I have to say a show that where the second season is good and everyone thinks it's fucking horrible, it has to be One Punch Man.
Yeah.
Because you can't make a story with Saitama. He's literally a gag character. He is not meant to have a story.
Yeah, he's a kind of character that somebody wrote a one-shot about and then realized, oh fuck, this is popular, I gotta build on this.
Yeah. So, and that. And I have watched one more show, at least I started it. Osama Ranking of Kings.
Okay, yeah, I've seen some... I believe I've seen advertisements of that.
Yeah, I believe that because it's pretty goddamn well made. It's made by Studio Wit, so yeah, Attack on Titan makers.
Yeah, Katana Gatari.
Yeah, well, that's White Fox, I believe.
Oh yeah, wait, sorry, I got confused for a moment.
Yeah, I was about to say because the only thing when I think of Studio Wit is still Attack on Titan. I can't think of anything that's particularly good that they made otherwise.
I am drawing a blank right now too.
Yeah, that's not a dig on them. It's just that they may have chosen poorly because they're an animation studio that makes pretty well-made shit. Their stuff is well-made, usually. Osama Ranking is weird because Brian wanted me to watch it to give him the recommendation of if he should watch it. I want to remind you that I can't particularly handle swindling and such.
Yeah,
and
that's also
taking advantage of characters.
That's why you didn't watch Mob Psycho 100.
Yeah, I can't stand the fucking character of Reigen. I can't stand him. And Brian doesn't like bullying in his anime. He can't handle bullying because, well, he has a history with that. I'm not going to get into it, but you get the general outline. Literally, the first episode is the two characters getting bullied relentlessly and getting taken advantage of relentlessly. So the first two episodes were absolute hell for me to sit through.
But you did sit through it.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It gets very good because the character storytelling, I mean, I've only watched 7 episodes by this point, so I don't have an entire outline. But the characters are very diverse and none of them are black and white, which anime really likes to do. If the dude is evil, he's generally just evil.
Yeah.
And there are characters here that just do evil stuff, but not because they want to. There's a duty to their kingdom. There's privileges. There are all these things they have to consider to do the things they do. And it's just very nice to see that they actually regret actions they take and take responsibility for actions they do. The animation is weird as fuck. You would fucking like it. It's 60s incarnate. So it's about this Prince Boji. And Ranking of Kings, well, it's kind of self-explanatory. The anime doesn't explain it very thoroughly at all in the beginning, but there are kingdoms throughout this world, and every kingdom has a king. This king is ranked on its strength by a board of committee. I don't exactly understand still, but the father of Prince Boji is a giant. His ruling skills were not the best, but he has the best strength of all the kings, so he's ranked 7. Prince Boji has a brother, Daida, which is from another mother. Brother from another mother, literally in this case. Prince Boji is a cursed giant, as in he is born with the traits of a giant, but they're suppressed. So he's not giant, the opposite. He's tiny as fuck. Not like smaller than a regular human child, but he's pretty small. Also, they're very ambiguous about age. You can't find the ages of these characters.
Just be specific for a moment. This is a fantasy show, like traditional Western fantasy?
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
It feels very... what's it? It's not very cheap, but very basic.
Okay, yeah.
It's just literally... It's not Fireaga. Nee, it's just literally just fire. And healing spells and such. And it's very in the best way I can say this is the most positive sense I can say this, fairly Ghibli in its world building.
Okay.
And I mean that in a positive way in this regard. I know from previous episodes that can be misconstrued as very negative in our mouths. But it's very basic, but in a good way.
Okay.
And Daida wants to be king, obviously, and Boji too, but they have very different sets of morals. As in, Boji wants to be the gentle hand and just rule with benevolence and be the best person he can be. Unfortunately for Boji, he is deaf and mute. And everyone sees him as a, well, sorry for the use of the word, like a retard. They just expect him to be a retard. But he just puts on a brave face, tries to make the best out of everything. But he just doesn't have the traditional skill set of a king. He's not very good at fighting. He's actually only good at dodging shit.
Dodge!
Dodge! As Dragon Ball Z Bridge would put it, dodge! And Daida is just the opposite. He is a cocky, sword-wielding motherfucker that wants to beat the shit out of his brother. But there are very nice character dynamics in the first few episodes. But the father obviously dies, and they choose a new king. And it's going to be Daida.
Obviously.
They override the will of the father. There are people in the court that are actually saying, yeah, Boji can absolutely be king. He's just misconstrued a lot because, well, he just usually seems like a bumbling idiot. Which he isn't. He is a very caring and actually pretty intelligent guy. But, you know, if you're mute and deaf, it's hard to express yourself.
Yeah.
And then you have this character, Kage, which is the dude that gets relentlessly bullied because of what he is. That's some racial undertone there. Mm-hmm. He's a shadow, implied by his name. He's just literally a two-sided sunny egg up that's burnt to the crisp. As in, he's literally two ovals with eyes in them. And his mouth is just literally a thorny plant. And it's said that his sword is very... what's the word? They bind to people. So if they're trusting of someone, they'll defend them to the death. And he binds to Boji because of how utterly pitiful he is, and also of how hard he fights what he is construed to be. So they go off on a journey and such to become this strong person to be able to become king. But in this story, there are also the courtiers and such that try to do everything in their power to make Boji not happen.
Understandable. I'm looking up some pictures and I just completely misestimated this anime, I have to say.
Oh?
Because I saw advertisements for it and I was like, oh, okay, this is some fucking try hard, ecchi...
Oh no, absolutely not.
School anime.
It is very...
And things like King's Game, I'm reminded of the stick game and such. And like, oh, okay, it's gonna be some battle royale, ecchi nonsense or something.
Oh no, definitely not. No, this is a story on its own. Very, very well written, I have to add.
Okay, interesting.
The characters are very diverse. It's just like Kusuno Honkai, Scum's Wish. You have to get through the first few episodes because this is a story that really wants to make you known that these characters suffer a lot to get where they're getting. And the tonal difference is impressive. As in, it seems about this heartwarming story about a boy who wants to be just a better king or become a king. Yeah. And then the scene cuts to a dude getting stabbed through the heart. It's pretty brutal in some scenes, and then it just gets to be fucking cute in the next. It's a bit over the place tonally.
I'm surprised that you're this enthused about it. I'll give it a look.
I love character dynamics, and the character dynamics here are so fluid. They're about as fluid as 2020 genders.
Stop coming back to that one joke, goddammit.
I mean, it kind of writes itself, honestly. No, these characters are so unlike many other anime characters that it's kind of weird to me, okay. Especially after not watching anime for a while.
So, to get back to how you even started watching this, will you be recommending it to Brian in spite of the bullying?
Definitely, I've already did so.
Ah.
Even after only 7 episodes, I can definitely say he should watch this. This might end in absolute catastrophe, because I don't know how it ends. It might end absolute shit of a cliffhanger.
Is it 13 episodes?
It's 24 episodes.
Okay.
23. It's a weird one. 23 episodes,
What did you say?
I think he called you a racial slur for some reason.
Oh, God.
That sounds like Tohmo. Yeah, I'm really enjoying it, despite some of the things I don't like. But let's be honest, I often do that. So yeah, I really... It's the character things. The art I don't really care for, because it's well made. I just don't like the style of it.
Okay.
It's very Western, in a certain regard. It feels like a French cartoon, if that makes sense. An old French cartoon, but with very obviously Japanese input.
Okay. Kind of like Cyborg 009, how that turned out in the remakes, perhaps.
A bit. But this has a lot more of the charm of the 60s.
Okay.
It has the charm of the 60s, but very new.
You have actually made me quite curious, so I will check this out.
I think you either enjoy the fuck out of it for what it is, or you go on one of your usual tangents and be like, "No, this is absolutely unwatchable." There's no in between with this one, I think.
Well, you say usual tangents, but I have not had anything bad on my plate the past few weeks, really.
Okay, but have you watched anything that's relatively new and liked by other people? And be honest! Because that's usually your trigger.
But I don't know how popular some of these things are. I didn't dig that far.
Oh, I'm so disconnected from the regular media. Oh, I'm so Vogue. Sorry, I had to do it.
Check out reasonstoanime.com for all your Vogue anime news. Well, one of the things that I watched, under threat I should add, is In Search of the Lost Future.
Okay, that doesn't ring any bells.
It's a visual novel adaptation of a mystery story.
Okay.
And my review for it is still coming out, but I likened it to a successor of the key animation hype of the mid-2000s.
Oh, Christ. I may even know what this is then.
It came out in 2012, and it's a time travel mystery story, in a sense. It's in episode 1...
Can you say its name one more time?
In Search of the Lost Future.
Go on.
It follows the members of a club, which is the Astronomy Club, of which only the guy actually likes astronomy, I should specify.
Yeah. Yeah, I know what you mean with the key stuff. Also, I'm gonna just say it looks like Pogo animation. If you know, you know.
Sadly, I know. Yeah, it follows this astronomy club, and they're the best of friends. And in the span of the first episode, one of the characters in it is hit by a truck and dies.
Obviously.
And from there, you see the calendar run back to a few days prior, and events repeat. But this time, on the first day that it starts on, they suddenly find a girl outside of their club room naked, who has no memories of who she is, or even how she came to be there. But it becomes very evident that she is someone who knows about the accident that will happen in a few days, and she starts working to prevent it.
Yeah, I know this. You're telling me this, and I look at the Japanese title. Oh wait, I played that!
Yeah, I actually installed the visual novel too.
Yeah, I played that visual novel. It was in the haze of, well, Pettry haze. So I played a lot of VNs, and I don't remember, and now I see the name. Ushina wareta Mirai no Motomete.
Yeah.
So, yeah, you're telling me the plot, and I'm like, wow.
But the reason I watched this under threat is because this was recommended to me by the same person who recommended me Talentless Nana. And I wrote a 6 reasons to skip Talentless Nana. So he was suggesting that there were some bad things in store for me if I also talked shit about this anime.
So you're gonna talk shit about this anime?
No, because I actually really liked it.
Oh, wow.
I really, it's, some people warn me like, oh, it's CGI, and then you watch it like, actually, this is quite nice, and I like the characters. I like the mystery story. It's not as predictable as usual. Like, if you're used to mystery stories like Erased that only barely count as a mystery, this actually had some very interesting moments and twists to it, and some emotional punch. So I was pleasantly surprised. That comparison to Key stories, Key visual novels, that was actually meant as a praise.
Oh, yeah.
That was
I'm not saying that. Okay, let me get this straight. Key is very good until you get like to 2009 and later. Then it just starts reiterating on itself because, well, they're all kind of samey, but the first few were very good samey.
Yeah.
But yeah, this seriously, I have this shot in front of me that just looks like Poro animation. I mean, honestly, look at that. That's just Poro.
Yeah, in isolation, it's a kind of show where it's very easy to take a screenshot and be like, oh, look at it looking bad.
Oh yeah, I mean, every anime has certain shots. But just the general style has something from Poro, exceptionally the grey-haired girl, because, well, Poro just likes to make its head fucking huge and then just give a slight veil of hair on it. To put it bluntly. The visual novel has less of that. If I have to compare the visual novel style to anything, it's Key with some Silverlink inspiration.
Yeah, I can see that from what I've played so far of it.
Yeah, it's fine. I don't remember much of the story, but to be fair, I usually don't remember a lot of VN stories. They just go in a haze.
Yeah, you might have read it for other purposes.
Yeah. So you actually like that?
Yeah, I was really, really surprised by it.
Okay.
I went into it kind of expecting, okay, it will probably be fine. And then I came out...
fine with an undertone of sarcasm.
And then I came out really quite liking it. So, yeah, that was a big success.
Yeah, just to... I only harp on Key when it comes to Charlotte. Charlotte is actual ass.
You specifically dislike Charlotte, I remember.
Yeah, that's just ass. I like Air, Canon, and Clannad and such. Actually, I like Canon more than Clannad. Blaspheme. So, yeah. But go on.
Yeah. Besides that, I've also gotten into detective opera Milky Holmes.
Yeah, I like how you said that to me, expecting me not to know what Milky Holmes was. And I'm just get up in glee. Ooh, you're watching Milky Holmes, you absolute madman. Explaining to me like it was some, not a revolutionary plot, like I wouldn't know what it's about. I loved it.
Yeah, that's kind of the risk I take. Like I just said, I don't usually know how popular certain things are.
Yeah, Milky Holmes is definitely a before 2010 anime thingy. Like, people... I mean, it's... Okay, how should I phrase this?
It came out specifically on 2010, though.
Yeah, it's... As in, people who watch anime before 2010 kind of person knows what it's like. Like, the same people that watched Lucky Star unironically. Those are the people that very much know what Milky Holmes is about. I, unfortunately... am part of that crowd, except for the last part, because fuck Lucky Star. I watched that later, because I tried to watch that 4 times, and on the 4th time I finally got beyond the first 4 minutes of the first episode, because the first joke always gets me. Not in a good way. But yeah, Milky Holmes, I haven't watched it, but I know of it a lot.
Yes. For people that don't know, Milky Holmes is a magical girl parody anime. It follows a group of girls who attend a academy for detectives, magical detectives, I should specify. Because in this world, everybody people that matter have superpowers. And that has given rise to magical detectives who are battling phantom thieves. And
I'm sorry, I just instantly hear a Konami DS game.
This has a video game.
Yeah, oh, definitely. No, but Phantom Thieves just sounds like another DS game.
Yeah, I believe Phantom Thieves is just a staple of Japanese mystery stories like that. Because I've heard that term in different anime as well.
Yeah.
But it follows these girls, and in episode 1, they lose their powers while battling their nemesis. and they return to school, and their initial idea is like, oh, we're gonna get our powers back. But these girls are actually utterly incompetent.
Incompetent to the degree that they self-sabotage.
They are, they're self-obsessed, they're conceited, they're idiotic, and they're just incredibly infuriating people.
So they're Excel saga on math, pretty much.
They got all these privileges at school because they were the best detectives, and now they've lost their powers, and they make no effort whatsoever to actually try and get them back. They're just kind of waiting for something to happen. Meanwhile, could
you spare some magical powers?
In the meantime, they're just barely attending classes. They're constantly goofing off and trying the patience of everybody that was at first genuinely trying to help them.
That are now absolutely done with their bullshit.
Yeah, that just get gradually more fucking annoyed with them. Including all of their classmates, because everybody hates them. Because they got all these privileges and they're very conceited and overly proud. And they continue to be that even once they have clearly plummeted to uselessness. But it is a very fun parody show. I was very pleased to have a Magical Girl parody that isn't the usual shit you see today. Post Madoka Magica.
Yeah.
Oh, a parody. Oh, it's just Magical Girls, but what if everything is violence?
What if it's Magical Girl Racing Project or Magical Girl Side? Yeah, those are just literally what you described.
Yeah, exactly. That's what comes to mind when you say Magical Girl parody today. But this one is actually really fun. It actually has the colorful aesthetics of a shoujo series, the goofy characters, and that is mixed in with adult humor that isn't too overbearing.
No.
Like sometimes the use of language is very surprising, and it just has a lot of snappy background jokes that get to me.
Also, I just want to add that Tohmo is being the absolute cattest cat it can be. Because the bedroom is closed. And he doesn't want to be there because the airco is on. But since the door is closed, he has to meow at the door. This absolute fucktard of a cat. Sorry.
Yeah, so it actually has some pretty good parody and background jokes. And consequences for the main character. They actually get punished and people follow up on threats to them. Like if they get a threat. If you don't do something, within 6 months, you're expelled. And they actually follow through on that.
You get the fuck out of our school.
Yeah, they get temporarily just kicked out and don't actually get back in until they've done something very significant.
Wow, consequences.
Yeah.
What a novel concept.
But there's one character that I really like, which is Cordelia.
Yeah, you told me about her.
The best way I can describe her is that she is an unkind depiction of the mentally ill. Her thing is that she is clairvoyant. She can see into the future. Could see into the future prior to losing that power. And what she's left with is that she randomly lapses into wild delusions. Which sometimes is her just collapsing onto the ground and just smiling and laughing and singing to herself. Believing that she is in flower gardens.
But does she cough up blood?
Sometimes.
Okay, she's just a more steroided version of Excel Saga Purple Haired Girl, which I forgot the name of.
Yako. I believe. Hyatt. That's it. But, well, yeah, she randomly bursts out in singing, starts dreaming about flowers, but sometimes she also just assumes completely different personas, and just completely takes over any scene where she was supposed to be doing something. And just the constant surprise factor of that is really fun.
Okay.
But I've watched 2 seasons of it. Then I watched a few specials and Milky Holmes Alternative, which is based on the PSP game, which actually is a take on this story where it's done seriously. Which is actually fun. I kind of want to play that PSP game now because I want to see a serious take on this story as well.
Oh, I just feel a smile creep on my face. You want to play a PSP game?
Oh, yes. The only PSP game, presumably.
Oh, I'm gonna wring your neck.
But besides that, I'm still midway through a few things for group watches. The endless group watch is busy with Asobi Asabase.
Asobi Asobase.
I mispronounced that completely.
Yeah, I'm just gonna help you there.
Which is absolutely fucking great. That's just that's just wild comedy.
I'm still impressed by the ending song of that.
Yeah.
Jesus fucking Christ, you need to give this woman a raise.
No, just the voice acting in general, because that's one thing that one of the analyst people pointed out. The voice actress for Hanako can just switch
to the sweetest fucking high school girl voice to an absolute metal grunging maniac.
She goes in like 4 different extremes, and she switches on a dime, just stops and immediately changes up voice completely. It's amazing.
The dynamism of Hanako is pretty fucking crazy.
It is amazing to listen to.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, fuck, totally.
He also agrees. No, just the voice acting of that anime alone is pretty fucking spectacular.
Yeah.
And the humor is out there.
Well, and we are still watching Dragon Ball Z Kai, the
Boo-Hen story, aka the last saga.
Yeah, we're in the tournament part now.
We're finally beyond the cringe.
Yeah, just about, I think.
Yeah, no, the Vidal saga, the Vidal mini part, that's pretty fucking cringe. Dragon Ball 2 tries to have high school romance, and it's so forced and so cringe. It just doesn't work.
Yeah, I don't know how to feel about it quite yet. I want to see it in its totality, because on the one hand, I'm like, oh, okay, they're trying to pull Dragon Ball Z back down to a human level. They're trying to make it more relatable again and focus on new characters that are more baseline in power. Watching Videl learn basic things like just throwing energy balls and flying, I kind of enjoyed that. But at the same time, you got Goten flying about, who is just...
It's that's the problem. It's, for me at least, it's so... what's the right word to use here?
Because in a way, if you look at Videl compared to the previous arc, that's like a cryptocurrency. It just goes flop.
Yeah, the value of powers just decreases, I think. Because especially if you have seen Dragon Ball. Tohmo, fucking shut up already! Jesus! Sorry, it gets on my nerves by this point. Normally he just sleeps for 16 hours. He hears us talking and now he needs to make noise. Fuck!
And you'll see. When we do the side character podcast, he is just gonna be completely chill.
Yeah.
Oh, I got Tohmo hair all over me.
Yeah, that's fine. Because Goku and Tien and Piccolo, they had to fight for actual years. Years and years and years. With far more rigorous and strict and traditionalist training than Videl ever did.
Yeah.
To learn anything. And then just Videl's like, lol, I'm going to train a week with Gohan. I can fly. I mean, from your perspective, I understand it.
Yeah, from my perspective, it feels like, oh wow, this is focusing on a human character, but...
From my perspective, it just pulls down any effort that went into previous characters. Because it just kind of looks... because Vidal is definitely a gifted person for martial arts. That's been established already. But just seeing her learning this as fast as she does... Because Gohan isn't a particularly good teacher or anything.
No.
Him teaching her doesn't amplify her powers. It's just kind of... It does it. Kind of dumb. I mean, Goku kind of did the same. He literally did the Kamehameha because he saw it once. And Master Roshi being absolutely fucking horrified because he had to learn it to himself in 50 years. And Goku just, lol, did it. But that was the gag of that moment. That Goku was that gifted. And that he was extraordinary by that in that regard. But Videl just kind of comes from a normal background.
Yeah.
So it's kind of exceptional. And I'd say, that's just the definite range of characters that they do with female characters up till Super. Like, yeah, they're kind of gifted, but they're also worthless.
No, actually, you're actually wrong there. Videl has a very prestigious bloodline. She is the heiress to the legacy of the greatest martial arts champion of the world.
For fuck's sake. Yeah, but just the high school part of Dragon Ball Z, it's obvious that Akira Toriyama wanted to do a different thing again, and that he got absolutely hammered by his editors.
Yeah.
Like, he just tries to poke out a finger like, can I just try something? No! Just slaps the finger out. You do shonen, and only shonen.
I just want to make a tournament arc again.
Yeah, no, yeah, I think Toriyama tried something and he just got absolutely hammered back into place again. Because he does shonen well, but it obviously doesn't enjoy it. I mean, at some point, he just forgets he made transformations. I want to remind you that he forgot in, like, 2013 in an interview that Goku could go Super Saiyan 2, that even was a transformation. So, yeah, I kind of feel bad for the man, because he wants to do stuff, but it's obvious that people don't enjoy what he makes. So that's why he just regressed to an editorial role by this point.
Yeah, and I've read some other works by him, Gia, which is very interesting and just makes use of his strengths in a very different way.
Yeah, and Dr. Slump is pretty fucking good too. But that's just One Punch Man prototype, pretty much. Which is fun too. But yeah, we're now through the cringe.
Yeah.
And getting back to the standard Dragon Ball stuff. But as I said, this is the worst saga for power creep.
Yeah. Goten, that's what I want to point out. If Fidel is a collapse of the power scale back to just nominal levels, Goten is just
the other way around. Because, yeah, just for people who don't know, I doubt there are any at this point, or they didn't hear the stake already, where everyone fought for their powers and have trained relentlessly to get where they are. Goten and Trunks for that matter, just literally get it thrown into their lap. The transformation of going Super Saiyan is confronting certain emotions. Usually, Goku at the loss of Krillin, Gohan at the feeling of being inadequate, Vegeta at literally being so angry that he can't compete with someone who he thinks is lower than him.
I want to say, you say Gohan at feeling inadequate and Vegeta at being inadequate.
Yes, that would have been better actually. And original Trunks too at the loss of Gohan. It just feels cheap that Gohan literally got slapped by his mother and it was like, oh, Super Saiyan.
Goten.
Oof. Yeah, Goten. Sorry, Did I say someone else?
Yeah, you said Gohan.
Oh, my bad. Goten. And Trunks, literally, we never even know when his first transformation was. It's just funny to see Vegeta's reaction to it. It's like a Super Saiyan bargain sale. I still love that line. It's so dumb.
It is probably the best line in just vanilla DBZ so far.
That's the most Dragon Ball Z abridged line in Dragon Ball Z proper. So, yeah, it just kind of feels cheap. And this entire arc just gets one-upped the entire time. You will see that.
Okay.
They one-up each other the entire time. But I think it's the best arc for just pure battles. As in...
that's cool, though. That's the strength of the series, in a way.
Yeah, but when you look at the Cell Saga, it's just struggling against this giant mountain. That they can't fight until Gohan turns Super Saiyan 2 and just literally slaps him 2 times. He pukes out Android 18 and gets absolutely obliterated in the end. And with some despair thrown in there in the middle. It is not very back and forth. It's just literally, there's this mountain. We have to defeat it. Okay, we can fight with it now and we utterly destroy it. Mountain eaten.
Yeah.
But the Buu Saga is a lot more... back and forth struggle, a lot more actual fights, and a lot of perspective is the best way to use it. Because the characters introduced are not used to the powers that are being shown. Yeah. So they're just like, oh Jesus fuck, we might have made a mistake in calculating this. You'll see that when we get literally... We'll probably see that today.
Okay.
And... yeah, the battles are a lot more back and forth, and it's really fun. But just the power creep is insane.
All right.
And once again, I want to add, Tien does his thing. Kiko, fuck yourself.
Oh, I look forward to that.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. Moving on.
The final group watch is watching the prequels for Legend of the Galactic Heroes with my friend Dennis.
What is the prequel to a legend? The local phenomenon of the galactic heroes.
The saga?
A saga is beyond a legend, I would say. Or that's a current legend. Legend in the making.
The storybook.
Yes.
But that's just...
Fine.
Yeah, it's fun. It's not as good as the original. It doesn't have the full-scale war and the big tactical high-level politics, but it shows you the origin story of the characters and just a lot of the adventures they had that bring them to the point of where Legend of the Galactic Heroes starts.
Fair enough.
You know, that's perfectly functional and just the purpose of a prequel. It's not incredibly exciting, but it's very good.
And I think we can go to the news then, I think.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
We've been rambling on about this quite a while for a change.
Yeah. I'm committed to actually doing the touchy topic, but lunchtime is approaching.
Yeah. I love can I just go and say that I still love my medication? Just the focus is weird. It's so weird for me.
Liberating.
Liberating, even.
Well, the first news is for you.
Yeah, because, as I said, I didn't make time for anything because I was very busy with actual stuff for a change. By my standards, that is.
Inconceivable.
Yeah, by my standards, this is very weird for me, but whatever. Crunchyroll opens Dragon Ball Superhero film worldwide in theaters this summer. May I just say that I hate the title?
I do too.
Yeah.
That was my remark as well. I was like, what the fuck is this?
And it's not even because... Okay, just to say that. You have Dragon Ball Super.
Mm-hmm.
And you had Dragon Ball Heroes. And now they have a movie called Dragon Ball Superhero. Why couldn't they have done anything different?
I guess if you just keep making the same franchise for a few decades, at one point you're gonna run out of cool words.
Well, Dragon Ball Super is not cool.
Oh no!
But that's not the point here. Film to be available, subtitled, dubbed, slated to open in Japan on June 11th.
Are you gonna watch that if it comes to the Netherlands?
Fuck yeah!
Why did I even ask?
I've watched Dragon Ball Super Broly in the cinemas as well. And I enjoyed the shit out of it. I just distinctly remember having some parent with their child. And this is not derogatory in any way, by the way. The child had Down syndrome.
Okay,
and
yeah.
they saw the opening to the movie, and you just saw the father sitting there like, I don't think this is the movie we were supposed to watch. Looks at the ticket, looks back at the screen, sees the title. Oh, we're in the wrong room here. Steps up, and the kid's like, no, I want to watch this. This seems fun. No violence for you. Has to pull him out of the cinema and throwing a tantrum. No, I want to watch this. I don't want to watch Poot Poot. Or whatever the actual movie was they were going to. The movie itself was fine, though.
Oh god, that's horrible.
Yeah, I distinctly remember that. Yeah, so
this is not selling me on the cinema experience.
Oh, Tohmo, come on, get over here.
You're also Down syndrome. Get on the table.
No, don't coach him out on the table.
Get on the hand.
He's not supposed to be there. So yeah, it's going to be released June 11th.
He's attacking me.
Oh, this absolute bitch! What do you want? You have food and water!
I just tried to pet him and he hit me.
This absolute savage. But yeah, it's going to open June 11th. The last news I heard of it was that it was delayed because I think someone actually stole footage or something. They hacked the servers. Oops. We might have made an oopsie. Not surprising because Japanese cybersecurity is fucking barren. Look at Nintendo. And Capcom by yesteryear standard.
Yeah, but
that was pretty sad.
Just Japan's IT infrastructure in general.
Let's use a fax machine, okay? That is I just like how they make the most technically advanced stuff, but I still use deprecated ass technology to make it happen.
Well, this is actually a thought, right? And it's completely unrelated to this news, by the way, but one thing that I find fun to notice, because I just dash back and forth across anime history, is that you gradually see like the adoption of different technologies. Like if you watch things like Lyrical Nanoa, sorry for doing that, they use flip phones, and then at some point in anime you started seeing like, oh man, characters are now actively constantly using smartphones. That's so cool. And they used to do everything through email. Like emailing your friends was just the most normal thing in the world. But if you watch newer animes like Line, when I was watching Asobi
Asobase, Asobi Asobase.
Thank you for helping me there. They have a joke at one point that is like, why is she passing class notes? She can just do that through Line.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, yeah, that's modern. And then later they have a different joke. I'm not going to spoil the whole context, but at one point they say, why does that sound like a fax machine? I'm like, fuck, oh man. Kids in Japan still know what fax machines are.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Japan is very strange.
What the fuck are you guys doing?
Okay, just to call someone out, or give them a shout out, I should say. You have Dogen on YouTube. He's American that's very engrossed in Japan, and he is obsessed with the language, as in he speaks better Japanese than most Japanese people. And he makes skits about the stupidity of some Japanese things. And he made a skit about how Japan is literally on the forefront of technological development, but still uses the most ancient shit ever. Like, have we made the code for the VR the VR application? Oh yes, it's fully written in assembly. I'll fax you the details. That sort of thing. It's very funny to me. And also, like you said, they emailed a lot because they were one of the first countries with Entity Docomo that used 2G for them, I think it was, but actual use internet to send things, because we used SMS and such, which is just a phone service thing. Yeah. But they actually used internet, so they emailed each other constantly. They didn't have to remember each phone number, because they could just Entity Docomo converted that to phone numbers and email addresses. So in that regard, they were far more integrated into that far earlier than us. But then they still use fax machines. It's very fun to me to see that. But getting back to Dragon Ball.
Yeah. We're actually already close to time for Dragon Ball. I figured this was just our new reality.
Fair enough. I really want to see this. I'm just curious which cinemas are going to be running it here, because that's a bit obtuse in the Netherlands.
I wouldn't know.
Because I went to Jujutsu Kaisen a few months back at this point.
Yeah, you mentioned that on the last podcast.
Yeah. But getting to a cinema that actually ran the movie with English subs was horrid. We found 2 in the entirety of the Netherlands. One was luckily fairly close to here.
Okay.
But every other cinema actually...
One other cinema, you mean?
No, well, the actual... there were a lot of cinema that actually ran the film, just that with Dutch subtitles. And then, no. And, so I'm hoping Dragon Ball will run with English dub, actually, because I love that with Dragon Ball. But I think we'll be safe, because Dragon Ball is a lot bigger of a household name.
Yeah, absolutely.
So we should be fine. Yeah, I wanna... The film will open in Japan June 11th after a delay due to the Toei animation hack. It says so in the article.
I missed that.
Yeah, they... first it was slated to be April 22nd, I believe. So they had to delay by 2 months. I'm definitely going to watch it, because it's an ode to Gohan, as far as I'm aware. It's a Gohan movie. Gohan get some prime time again. Fuck yeah. I'm a simp for Gohan. Yeah. I like Gohan. Fucking deal with it.
Deal with it, yo.
Moving on. Spy X Family Lloyd's poses for fashion magazine cover. I fucking hate that they chose the word poses. They draw them.
I included this as a funny aside because...
We're going to watch that with Anaton. Spy X Family is fucking lovely. I read a bit of the manga. But as usual with pre-medicated Pettry just goes and reads something and it just entirely forgets its existence. Post-medicated Pettry will actually read the rest of it.
Oh my god.
Purpose, concentration, focus. Such a weird thing.
But yes, he will be on the upcoming cover of Anan fashion magazine, which will ship on May 18th, which I don't know What date are we living in right now?
That's in 3 days.
Oh my god.
It's May 15th.
I might be too late to issue my subscription.
Oh no.
Ah.
Do you even know anything about Spike's family?
No, but I also don't know anything about fashion. I mean, look at me.
Look at us.
I came here in my fucking sport pants, green shirt.
Might I add, that just looks like a 90s sport jersey, but with made out of cotton instead of polyester.
I'm wearing blue Christmas socks, and I came here on my way too big leather boots.
Yeah.
Yes, I am not the target demographic.
Oh,
but
definitely
maybe Lloyd would help me fix that. Maybe I could be more like Lloyd.
Don't be. I've read Spike's family for a bit, but no, don't be like Lloyd. That's bad.
But yeah, we have seen this before, right? I believe one thing that comes to mind is Lightning from Final Fantasy XIII, who got tangled up in quite a bunch of fashion advertisements.
That's right.
You think this is at all effective?
It's Japan. They do they have pop-up cafes, for fuck's sake. They literally make a cafe for like 2 months regarding a current popular anime and then just fuck off again. Most of these cafes don't even have beverages or food themed around the anime. It's just that it looks like the anime and they wear clothes that are in the anime. Enjoy it.
I believe actually I saw an episode of Trash Taste in the recommendations.
Seems about right.
Yeah, which had advertised that they had a piece on pop-up cafes in Japan.
Yeah, I think I've actually seen that part.
Oh, okay. I still have to catch up.
Yeah, it's just Japan likes its exclusivity, as in the idea of exclusivity and being special. Like, this pop-up cafe will be gone in 2 weeks. If you don't come, you lost. And that's the allure of them, I think, at least. That's the allure. Because else, why would you go? As I said, they don't have special food. They just have waiters that kind of look in the clothes of anime. Yeah. So you kind of have to be obsessed and want to have the special experience of it. And they really hunt that entire demographic.
Yeah, there'll be a different themed cafe probably in the same spot afterwards. So
or a Dolce Gabbana shop. Fuck if I know.
Who the fuck cares?
Yeah. So yeah,
if you actually buy like a special collection of something like an anime, you have something special. You have something unique. Well, not unique, but rare and dear to you that you can keep using.
But
if you go to a special cafe, you eat your special food.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. These pop-up cafes are about the experience.
Yeah.
But the problem is with them, there is nothing special about this experience. Like a concert is pretty special.
Yeah.
You go there once, you really enjoy that, you remember that for the rest of your life. Yeah. At least that's the case for me. And when you go to this cafe, I ate my macaron that I could have eaten like 2 cafes further on. But the waiter was in a cute outfit that I liked.
Yeah.
And I associate myself with that, and that's part of my identity, so I have to go there.
Yeah.
And that's just...
It's so much more special to sexually harass a waiter when she's wearing a school uniform.
Yeah, it just kind of feels like they prey on these people, take advantage of, instead of offering actually something special. If you know what I mean. Yeah, that's all I wanted to say on that regard.
Once again, completely unrelated to what we were actually talking about.
I want to get back on track.
So for people who also still have to get a subscription, the issue will actually contain content related to Spike's family, interviews, and just general articles about the anime as well. So it's not just a cover with an anime character on it.
No, that would be asinine.
But asinine in a way that would be believable.
Yeah,
I could see that happen.
Oh yeah, it's Japan.
All right, moving on, and this time actually something for me, which is that Legends of the Galactic Heroes, the Neue Vize, gets a 4th season. Yeah, and that's just all around quite exciting. Legends of the Galactic Heroes, the Neue Vize is of course the remake of the 110 episode long 1980s Legends of the Galactic Heroes anime.
One of the hardest anime to binge because it's just political talk and a lot of talk and not particularly interesting talk. Mm-hmm. It's very good. Mm-hmm. It's just entirely asinine to watch binging that.
Still, the most beautiful thing in that entire goddamn show is when they actually go to Earth. And before they get to Earth, it's like, hey, we should watch this training tape about Earth, which is just a several episodes long lore dump about everything that happened on Earth.
Oh, Christ.
That is exclusive to this anime, and just the history of the Empire gets pushed in there, a bunch of wars get pushed in there, the birth of the United Federations Alliance gets pushed in there. It's just several episodes long lore dump, just narrated lore.
I just imagine now that there's a new Gundam series in the UC timeline.
Yeah.
And they just lore dump everything from the UC timeline in the first 20 episodes, and then the last 4 episodes are actually new stuff. Just like, no, you need to know this every time.
But yeah, as a fan of the original, I've been interested in the Neue but also cautious. It's kind of what you described with Higurashi.
Yeah.
Like, okay, yeah, it looks better, but didn't the old look kind of work in a way? Because Legend of Galactic Heroes is very much an anime with a very iconic look to it.
Yeah.
Just that regal 80s animation, the sharp, beautiful characters.
The sharp eyes, specifically.
Yeah, it's very... it's an iconic look, and one that's very dear to me. And yeah, it's sometimes a bit stiff and a little bit weird at places. But as a whole, it is subliminal looking. It's absolutely fantastic.
Yeah.
And Neue Visa kind of pulls that through the lens of current age shonen anime, and
you see that the director or the animators want to emulate it, but they also really hold on to what they actually know.
Yeah.
So it kind of looks like they want to do it, but
I've kind of compared it to a high school basketball anime. It kind of feels like that.
So Slam Dunk versus Ahiru no Sora.
Yeah, but you've had one of those anime where one of the main characters has very bright red hair, I believe, right?
Yeah, that's Kuroko, yeah.
Yeah, it kind of reminded me of that, because you have Kurchais in this anime who has red hair, and that is now short and very sharp facial features, punch the mic.
I just want to add that I could make a joke there, because you say bright red hair, but Slam Dunk is also a basketball anime with a dude with bright red hair.
But yeah, it kind of has that look to the characters, and every character I've looked up so far, I see the design like, no, that isn't quite it. Yeah. But a friend of mine is watching it, and he says that it's actually really quite good, that the content is good.
Okay.
And one thing he pointed out is that instead of... the original anime is very reliant on its narration. Everything that happens, a narrator is there to explain it and comment on it. And he mentioned that this time... it's more focused on actual show. Show don't tell, the principle.
Yeah.
Because there's a scene that he specifically mentioned is when a character is making too much of a speech, and everybody that is attending the speech just kind of waiting it out.
Yeah.
And in the original, the narration actually comments that everybody was bored by the speech. And the Neue Visa he mentioned instead shows the characters just being bored.
Yeah, I think that's also just a byproduct of the 80s. Just not having enough staff to properly animate something and produce it in a week span of a week. So I can kind of give the old one for that, but it's good that they revised it in the new ones. Die Neue These.
Yeah, but I am curious what... I'm gonna wait until it's done. That's for certain. I'm not gonna follow this because I watched it, the original, not even too long ago, like 2 years ago.
Yeah, I find it funny. That's just the context we're thinking in now. I watched this 2 years ago. That's too soon, man.
Well, for a 110 episode fucking show.
I mean, you know what I do, right? I literally watched Dragon Ball Kai not even a year ago, and now I'm watching it again. It's just a detriment to my character, I suppose.
But this, anyway, this new season, season 4, it's going to debut as 3 separate theatrical releases. I don't know why I put up more things than 3.
Or air quotes for that matter. 3? Sorry.
Which are going to release on September 30th, October 28th, and November 25th.
Yes.
So, yeah, I'm curious to see how much longer this is. I don't actually know where they are in the story right now.
Fair enough. I wouldn't know at all because I haven't watched it. I've watched the first episode and I'm like, yeah, I can binge this at all. And if I can binge an anime at all, it's not going to be pretty me watching it. I've binged Excel Saga and I'm still recovering.
Since that ends the news block, maybe you have time for a viewer question.
We got a viewer question.
Yes.
Oh, Christ.
Well, it was originally a question to me, then it was a question to the Anilist Group Watch. Nobody knew, so now it's a viewer question to you.
Oh, Christ.
We got a question that blue, the color blue, is often in titles for sports anime, and also often color-coded for the covers. And the question is there a specific meaning to that? That blue is often associated with sports?
Oh, god damn it, Japanese and their colors.
Well, the question was extended because originally they also asked why, if it also happens in romance anime. Romance in Yuri also apparently often has blue in it. But I figured that might be wordplay because
not quite, because
like
Ao and I, the kanji of that is very different.
Okay.
No.
It was a guesstimate. I made that very clear, by the way.
I understand, because the closer form would be the noun of blue, because that's Aoi. Okay. So that's literally one letter off, but that's the romanization of it. And romanization, you should never go by romanization.
That gets weird.
Yeah, just like with... that fucking thing with Dragon Ball.
Yeah.
By the way, I'm pointing to the anime encyclopedia. We'll get back to that. That did some weird things too. But no, Japanese are very superstitious, so they have everything with colors thought out. Because I'm pretty sure you're aware that white represents death. With the white lilies, never give someone a white flower in Japan. Yeah. That's just like saying you wish death upon them. Purple is evil because it sounds like evil. I believe purple is like Waru, and evil is Warui.
Yeah.
And now you understand why Wario is purple. Mm-hmm. Waru, whatever. Blue is more representative just of spring, and activity being based around springtime.
Okay.
A lot of sport are the spring tournaments, the summer tournaments and such. That's mostly why blue is the representative color there.
And you also often hear the spring of love. Yeah. And okay. So that might be something then.
Yeah, because the Japanese are weird with their... Well, not weird with their seasons. It's more when they start. Because most of the world, school starts September-ish. Mm-hmm. August, September. But the Japanese are drilled into their... fucking rhythm. School starts at the start of the financial year. Just to make sure that kids understand that everything is made around this certain bubble and they'll have to live in it. So everything starts around March there.
Okay.
And that's also, coincidentally, when spring starts. And that's also when qualifications for big tournaments start in sports anime.
Okay.
So that's usually why blue is such a recurring color in that regard.
And you're saying that as a definitive statement, or is that also just your take on why it might be?
Every author has a different statement of that, but the Japanese people are very natsukashi, very nostalgic people, so they really want to hammer everything home to a certain little bubble. They want to have it contained.
How sugoi.
How sugoi. Yeah. So it's not definitive, but I'm pretty sure if you ask a Japanese author, they'll have some of my answer in their answer. It reminds them of spring, and it's probably mostly regard to that, because just sport itself doesn't really have a color, I think. Both schools have their own colors. It's all jersey based, so that's not it. I think it's more of a what's the right word? Impression of it. Yeah, impression of the season. mostly. So yeah, there's that.
Well, I do like your explanation of it, actually. And I can imagine that is actually it. So
that's my theory.
Yeah.
as once again, not definitive, but I think that's the most recurring theme.
And I'm happy that you actually pointed this, because we neglected to mention this. And truth be told, it doesn't deserve to be mentioned. But
Oof. I just want to add that we absolutely hate everything that's written in this. Okay, maybe not everything, that's an overstatement, but everything I've read of it until now is a shit stain. And it's the third revised edition by this point. How? Okay.
Yes. I brought this because I'm actually working on an article which is going to be the end of me.
Yeah, definitely. You've only given me a snippet of it.
Yeah.
And you saw how mad I got from it.
This is the Anime Encyclopedia, which promises that it contains information and essays on every anime up until 2014. And it comes close to that. It just doesn't have accurate information on
at all.
Most of them.
Yeah,
I'm willing to say.
I'm just one to veto that. I think we can fill a literal bonus episode with just tangents of it.
Yeah, but I'm filling currently my article with it, and I ran this past you to fact check.
Yeah.
The Dragon Ball portion, which takes up 3 whole pages, and none of them are accurate.
Nothing is accurate. It's filled with grammatical errors. And even with spelling errors.
Well, you mentioned romanticization, because one of the things it does is that it spells Saiyan as Saiyajin.
Saiyajin.
Yeah.
Because that's the Japanese name. They still misspell it, kinda. Because in Japanese it would be Saiyajin, but they write it as Saiyajin.
Yeah.
So the entire pronunciation kinda gets fucked there.
But realistically, would any Dragon Ball fan actually call...
Japanese, I mean, they use the Chinese and Japanese names in here, like Kame-senin and such.
Yeah.
So I understand that part, so they use the very Japanese word. And Japanese people say Saiyajin.
Okay.
That's actually what they use there. Super Saiyajin. All that stuff. So that's accurate, it's just that they misspelled it. And that it's a play on words, like everything in Dragon Ball is. Everything is a portmanteau of something.
Okay, yeah.
So that's actually accurate. But then they... what was the first sentence? Like... Roshi, the Kame-senin master, whatever they said. Master Kame-senin, they said. Kame-senin already means the sage hermit, the hermit sage. So attaching master to that is kind of redundant and stupid. So that's already a demerit. And it just gets a bit asinine.
Yeah. Later on in that bit, it also suggests when it gets to the Dragon Ball Z part, because it puts Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z in one.
Yeah, and the funny part about that is Dragon Ball Z is literally only the latter part.
Yeah, but at one point they mention that Goku is killed, and then it says, and then he revives as the Super Saiyan.
Oh god!
That is more than an arc away.
I was about to say, they skipped a bit there.
Yes. And that's actually what it ends on. Like, everything else that happens afterwards...
Go fuck yourself.
Not important, apparently.
No, not at all. Yeah.
But yeah, that article is coming along very, very fast.
And they also misspelled Krillin. Fun part, they use every Japanese spelling in that. Like Shinlong, which is also Shenlong, but whatever. Krillin in Japanese is Kuririn.
Yeah.
And they use Krillin with a Y as the last I sound. Wrong.
Wrong.
Like, seriously, as I said to you, you just sent me the bit about Dragon Ball. Mm-hmm. As I said, I refuse to read any farther than the first 10 sentences because everything is wrong. It gave me a headache to read because it had summations that were summated wrong.
Yeah.
And it didn't read at all. It read like someone... Well, first off, they obviously didn't watch the show.
Yeah.
They just read a Wikipedia page and just reworded it. And
that is going to be a trend in this. I can guarantee
absolutely.
you that.
Absolutely. This is such a gigantic summary of anime that you can't have watched it all, obviously.
No.
So there's obviously things that are going to be misconstrued.
I'm going to interrupt you there.
Yeah.
Because what's annoying... Like, okay, I know that this guy hasn't seen everything, and I accept that. That is a layer of acceptance that you have to move.
Yeah.
The problem is that he hasn't seen all of it, but he still acts like a very opinionated, conceited prick about things. He's like 7 anime that he's super obsessed over, and then there's a whole bunch of anime that he's just never watched, and he's just gonna label things. Oh yeah, this is a Tenchi Muyo ripoff.
Yeah, that's a bit broad.
At one point, he has a bit on Berserk, and it's a very small portion for such a landmark show.
Yeah.
And he keeps misspelling Griffith's name. But then, like, the half of that piece is taken up by him rambling about how there's a Berserk parody in Ah My Goddess.
Yeah.
Because he really fucking loves Ah My Goddess. So, one of the biggest shows of 1997, and he just fucking throws half of it away to ramble about Oh My Goddess again.
God damn it. Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna be real here. I do that a lot too. I write off a lot of anime. Well, not write off. I compare it a lot.
Yeah.
Like, as I said with Black Clover, it's just Naruto with some Bleach thrown in there and some Dragon Ball. Mm-hmm. That doesn't mean that that's a demerit, especially because you can only start a story so many times. I understand that. But this dude sounds pretty asinine about it. Like, no, I've read the first 2 lines of the Wikipedia, and it sounds like Dragon Ball, so it's shit. It's not its own thing.
Oh man, I'm gonna spoil for you because a few of the mistakes are small. Like when you have another, he has the year wrong. It takes place. I'm just momentarily not sure, but he mentions a year off. He's just 1 year off, and like, okay, that is a small mistake.
Small mistake can happen, but still weird because you can easily fact check that.
Yeah, and then there's the wild things like the Dragon Ball description. This Gaia. For this Gaia, he accidentally fuses Flon and Etna into one character. He just attributed the actions of both those characters to one.
Yeah.
Which he thinks is just all Flon. And he misspells Flon. He spells it as Fion.
Yeah. Yeah, the part where... I'm still hammering back to the Dragon Ball part. This part where I didn't like the most about it, that he just regards it as the Journey to the West.
Yeah.
Everyone is just Journey of the West characters. I mean, it's based on it.
Yeah.
I get that. But it's not Journey to the West. It's not a recapturing of that story. It's just based on that story.
Yeah.
And then it turns out to be its own thing.
But one of the wildest mistakes that I've seen in this book is actually a hentai entry.
Okay.
Do you know Elfenlade?
Yes, of course I do.
Yes.
Fuck, of course I do.
Yes. So yeah, Elfenlade is a kind of a edgy drama anime about a fantasy war between elves and people. And the people invade the village of the elves, capture them, rape the women, and the princess of the elves gets captured by the commander, and she gets manipulated into fighting the war for them.
Yes.
Fighting her own people, so that the commander doesn't kill her sister. He keeps that promise in a dubious way, but that's not important.
No.
But it's called Elfenlade. It literally has elf in the title. This motherfucker thinks it's a historical anime. He thinks it's set in the 5th century because the elves, if you delve far enough into Wikipedia, apparently the elves are called the Burgunds. And he thinks, oh, this is about the Burgundians.
Oh, God fucking damn it. No, they're not Germans.
And he does... The thing is, he gets the entire plot right, but he keeps thinking that it's set in the 5th century and that it's realistic.
Yeah.
And that the title is just a play to get on the Elfenlied hype.
I mean, it kinda is, let's be honest.
It was. But, wow, he literally did not even look up a picture of the show.
No, he just wants to spin everything his own little way, obviously.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that article is forthcoming. I have almost 40 entries now, and I'm at the letter H, which is just me going through the things that I know and fact-checking them just off the top of my head. Like if I know, oh, that's wrong.
Yeah.
And I've already raised my bar for what I consider to be nitpicky.
Yeah, I mean, we're both pretty nitpicky. It's if I were to read this, I would go fucking nuts because you know how much nitpick I do. I mean, I nitpicked even the fucking spelling and the grammatical errors in the Dragon Ball part.
You hyper-focused so much on the spelling, and then I knew, oh god, he's already angry and he hasn't even gotten to the actual content yet.
No, and I've actually read the whole article. It took me almost an hour. Because my head can't get past these things. Because if I read something, it needs to flow.
Yeah.
Because it needs to read nice, if that makes sense. You can't just write and have fucking exclamation marks, commas, and semicolons everywhere and expect like, yeah, that seems like good writing. Because I've seen these things in other sentences, so they should work in mine. No, motherfucker.
Oh man, I fucking tear myself apart if I should use a semicolon or an M dash.
Yes. So yeah, no, I can't just do someone a favor in a small regard when it comes to text. I have to have the text right. So yeah, that reading took me a while, but yeah, like that was the most hateful thing. I ranted to this to Rob because you said, yeah, what was it? Something about the misspelling from Saiyajin. Yeah. You said that, and I was just like, you were like, yeah, it's in the Dragon Ball Z portion. You sent me 3 images. So I was like, oh, then it's in the 3rd image, right? No, it's in the 2nd image and right in the middle. So I just read that whole thing, but backwards. So I was just like going, it's not here. 2nd image. Oh, there it is, in the middle of the fucking article. Son of a bitch.
Sorry.
No, not an issue. I'm not saying anything about that. It's just that this entire thing is written so asininely that it annoyed me unbelievably so. But let's get to the actual part from the script that says games we've been playing.
Yeah. Have you been playing actually much that isn't Bloons?
Bloons or Smite.
Or Fallout New Vegas?
I haven't played Fallout New Vegas.
Oh my god, are you healthy?
Yes, there's no new mods that interested me to constitute an entire run.
Alright.
So, and as I said, I know I'm harping on this, but this medication actually gives me focus, so I can not have to rehash everything I do. I can just do new things and not be absolutely fucking destroyed by it. That's a weird thing. I also have to cope with a lot of new, not emotions, but feelings I'm not used to having. Like mental exhaustion. That's a thing I haven't had in a while. It's absolutely fucking ruinous to me because I haven't had it in so long. But now I can actually focus. I can focus too hard. Also annoying. But games I've been playing. I have played Smite, obviously. It's a shit show. They have called the beautiful patch, and everybody in the community calls it the nerfening.
Yes, the just nerf patch.
They nerfed everything, and not in a good way, because there are characters that are inherently better, or class that's inherently better than all other classes, and they just patched a few of those characters and most items. So warriors are now inherently stronger than everyone else in the game.
Yeah, I get fucked mages.
Very smart. God damn it. Obviously, I played some Bloons. Not as much as usual. Let's see, I played, well, the challenge game, obviously.
Yeah, we'll get that in a bit.
We'll get to that. I've been testing a lot of this little machine here. The RetroTink 5X. Yeah. I'm going to make videos about that. I like working with this thing. Also, everyone on that Discord hates me now because I'm too nitpicky. I was like, no, the luminance levels are wrong. It should be BT701, and you have made it BT601 or 609. It's weird. The color space is wrong, and they're just like, shut the fuck up. It's a plug and play device. You shouldn't mess with it this much. No, temper tantrum. As I said, I can concentrate a lot better now, so I can go on temper tantrum about very technical stuff again.
I just imagined you opening a new voice channel and just screaming there.
No, it's not that bad. I was actually very polite, but internally I was
fuming.
Well, not fuming, just exaggerated emotions. So I've been doing that a lot. I tried in a new mod, Dragon Ball Z Budokai Tenkaichi 4. That's a mod to 3 where they added just a lot of new characters.
Okay.
Actually, they put more work into that than I expected. Pretty okay, actually.
Okay.
They reworked the UI, added a lot of maps and characters. You definitely feel it's modded though. As in, most of these characters and maps definitely don't feel vanilla for the game. It clashes a bit. But it's actually fun that they did so. It's pretty exciting. Let's see. Did I play something else for a significant amount of time? That or school.
Yeah. Oh, you showed me that.
Oh,
Have you gotten far in it?
Not yet. As once again, starting a business takes a lot of fucking time.
Yeah.
I wanted to make time for it. Haven't made time for it. But still, just that game is so stupid. I recommend it. I'm not even going to explain what it's about. Go to the Steam page, Dead or School. Watch the trailer. If you know by the trailer, from only the trailer, that it's a game for you, then it is a game for you. And just read the most recent review and just laugh at its stupidity.
I was sold on it when you mentioned that the one of the guys is credited by his hentai tag.
Yes! I fucking love it.
Fucking brilliant.
Yeah, I've played that for some time. I finished Mario Kart Double Dash again because I had to test this thing. I finished Hello Kitty Roller Rescue.
Oh,
That's a solid 2-hour game. Yeah, it's a very kid-friendly game once again.
the true hardcore gamer.
Yeah, not finished it because I had to, just finished it because it's a good game for color grading. So
I hope you finished that in 2 hours.
oh yeah, the game is finished easily. But the color grading is only done yesterday. God damn, that took a lot of work. Otherwise, I've been doing a little project because a buddy of mine wanted the PS2. He had his vacation money came in, or at least is coming in, and he wasn't going on vacation, so he said to me, "Give me the best PS2 money can buy." You said that to the best person you could have said this to. So I made him the nicest ass fucking PS2 you can buy with money, and I've upgraded mine while I was at it. So now it has a better cooling fan, I've replaced the fan stack, I have upgraded the software, I have reworked the network adapter so it can accept SATA disks, inserted the SATA disk, plowed it with all the games I have. Yeah, so he has that too, and a scaler now. Now you just need a scaler so you can actually play PS2 again. So, when do you have vacation money that you don't plan on going to vacation with and actually buying a good PS2?
My vacation money situation is complex.
Yeah, I know. I'm just in jest. Mm-hmm. But yeah, you should definitely still buy a scaler and upgrade your PS2 with me.
But yeah, you've been busy.
I've been very busy. I'm forgetting stuff here, but
I feel kind of bad because I just gave you shit. No balloons. No Fallout New Vegas. As if I've been doing fucking anything original.
I was about to say, I've seen you start a lot of Path of Exile.
Pathfinder,
Path of Exile. Yeah, you know what I mean. Sorry.
I'm still steadily making progress on Pathfinder Wrath of the Righteous.
I like how you said that.
Yeah.
Sadly making progress.
No, steadily.
Oh, steadily. I heard sadly.
No, like I mentioned on the last podcast, I've just adopted the playstyle where every time I do, okay, I'll just do one quest.
Fair.
And that's working out for me. It's not fast, but it's fun. It keeps the game fun. That's the important part. It prevents you from just kind of burning out on it.
Okay.
And that's what I needed. Besides that, I lapsed out of Crusader Kings 3, too many bugs, lapsed into my World of Warcraft private server. Oh no.
Christ.
There goes my productivity.
Yeah, I was about to say, I knew there was a reason you were bringing up World of Warcraft earlier.
Yeah, I'm just kind of playing that on my own. I have specifically modded the game so it's single player compatible. You can run it with bots. You have an auto scaling system that reduces the level of elite mobs if you don't bring the recommended amount of people to it.
Yeah.
So it's completely tuned so you can just play it alone and absorb the story, the atmosphere, the things that really matter to me in that game.
Okay. Nice.
Implying that the story of World of Warcraft is good, but...
I mean, I'm not even going to judge it. It's an MMO, man.
But I kind of burnt my energy for playing different games on 100%ing Bully.
Okay, so we're going into the game challenge.
Yeah, which took me a lot of... I think I put like 18 hours into it on my save, but that was my second attempt at doing it because I started on the PS2.
Yeah, I'm just going to interject there that I didn't actually finish the game because I finished it when I was younger. I actually finished the game when I was like 14, I think, 12, 13, 14, somewhere around that age.
All right.
So I just concentrated on testing different versions.
Okay.
And yeah, it's obvious that this game shouldn't have been made for the PS2. It functions on the PS2, but I think that's the nicest thing you can say about it. As in, every subsequent version pretty much functions better, but also worse. Bully is just kind of... Cursed. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Because, okay, the PC port is an old PC port. So it doesn't have proper mouse support.
No, I definitely played that with a controller.
Yeah, the mouse controls are just... You don't have a cursor in menus. It's definitely based on a console port. As in, just like Devil May Cry 3 on the PC. You can play it with keyboard and mouse, but goddamn, you better not. I think you get threats, fucking death threats from Rockstar if you do. I've played the PS2 version, but that's just... the FPS is just horrible, and they give you a very generous window for the chemistry minigame, because the FPS can stutter, and you can mistime your input just by the stutter. That's why the input range is pretty big on the PS2, because that's a bit tighter on PC. PC, you shouldn't play the minigames anything higher than 30 FPS, because they can glitch then. You shouldn't play higher than 60 FPS because the game can accelerate randomly and cutscenes don't work properly anymore. Mm-hmm. The Wii version has its entire own set of issues.
Yeah, motion controls that are not exactly on point.
That and interlacing that is where the fields are misaligned. You don't have to know what that means, just means that the game can look fuck ugly on a TV. And that, which ports were there more? There were modern ports, but those are just based on the shitty PC version. Only then on console, so yay.
Yeah, the same joke as always for me. You gotta be nice to them, man. They're just a small company.
Fuck off.
Small mom-and-pop game development studio.
Rockstar at this point had made GTA San Andreas. They were rolling in fucking dough.
Yeah. Yeah, because this came out in the interlude between San Andreas and GTA 4.
Yeah. So it's a sunset title for the PS2.
Yeah.
And Xbox.
Yeah, it really definitely is.
Yeah.
Also, I really like it actually. I'm kind of ashamed that they never went and made Bully 2.
I'm a bit torn on it. First off, just to add, we in Europe didn't like the name Bully. That's scary. That implies things. Yeah. So we just had a Latin name, Canis Canon Edit, which just means dog bites dog. Like bully as in bulldog, because Bullworth Academy. Get it?
Yeah.
Yay for being a nerd and actually know Latin. But then they released a Wii version and they were just like, nah, fuck it. We're just calling it Bully. Everyone can go fucking suck a knob. And I find it funny because you can obviously see this is made by English people, but trying to portray an American school. Because every soda you buy is called Pop. Yeah, that's the first tonal hit for me. Just in the beginning of the game, you're like, oh yeah, this is generally okay, believable to be an American school.
Yeah, it's really set. The game is just set in American suburbia.
Yeah, but then you have what's the right word? You have a school uniform. That's the word I was looking. And well, school uniforms are really a thing in America. Not even for formal schools. Then you get really into the religious private sector of schools in America. English, on the other hand, do have that. So either, because it's long ago that I actually finished the game, this is a mix between their idea of an English and American school, and it's kind of mashup of this dream world of them, or they actually really misconstrue a lot of things and just label it as America. I don't care either way, I might add. Yeah, just I'm torn on open world games in general. Because if the open world section is more fun than anything the missions can offer, why would I play the missions ever? Because I'm not going to care about the story. It's just the delinquent. Living the delinquent life. I mean, he makes personal progress. I understand.
I can see that the story is not amazing.
Rockstar has never been.
No, Rockstar is the kind of... They try parody, but they're not very good at it.
Well, their parody is pretty good. It's just that the story that they make with it is a parody, so you already know what it is. Mm-hmm. And if you don't know what it's parodying, then it's just a bad story, generally.
Yeah, and a few jokes get very repeated. But the things I like in it is that it's a game that's really good at creating atmosphere.
Yeah.
Because instead of like having a GTA game where you have like 10,000 copies of the same 5 fucking...
cars and people that are running around.
Yeah, you see the same people literally everywhere, and they're just clones. What Bully does is that every character, every person in the school is a unique classmate with a little bit of personality.
Russell wants money!
Yeah, you see those characters just everywhere. If you go to town, they are also in town doing things, and it's a game that feels very alive in that sense, which is really amazing.
It was an experiment by Rockstar because they made GTA San Andreas the biggest game yet, and they just took it and just made it smaller, so everything is a little bit more detailed.
Yeah.
And that's lovely.
Yeah, and because it's such an immersive game, I actually felt tempted to participate in the charade. Because there's just moments that I was just doing missions or gathering collectibles because I was going for 100%. And just something in my brain just said, I wonder if I can pull that off.
Yeah,
because
I get that.
Like, you have these hall monitors, the prefects.
Yeah.
You can't beat them.
No, they're just literally, they grab you, you can try to run away and that's it.
If you throw something at them, like one of the late game weapons that will actually beat them, then just more come out of the woodwork to come get you instead.
Yeah.
If you fuck with them, you're pretty much game over. Oh, I figured, wait. If one walks past the trash can, I can grab them, and I have enough time on my grab before they counter grab me that I can push them in the trash can, and that's an instant KO. And those kind of things just click in my mind. At one point, I was like, oh, I wonder if I can sneak up on the giant, just the biggest fucking jock, and just give him a wedgie.
Yeah, I also like the environment things, because you can just run around and go around the corner without looking and slip on a banana peel.
Yeah, the controls are actually pretty good.
Yeah, it is a bit stiff, but that's just par of the course because of the generation.
I say that. One thing that bothers me is that it's... Fuck, man, just get a turbo controller.
For tapping, yeah.
Everywhere you go, you're tapping constantly to sprint.
Yeah, that's what the bad GTA things they took.
Then you get the skateboard and you tap so you can skateboard faster. And then you get a bicycle and you tap the bicycle.
Yeah.
If you're gonna play this game, for the love of God, as early as humanly possible, grind out some carnival games so you can get a scooter.
Yeah.
That thing will save your thumb.
Poor thing.
And if you want to go really far, then do all the go-kart missions as soon as possible. You can't finish them until the final chapter. The single final chapter, I should say. But then you get a go-kart, and that thing is fucking heavenly. You go so fast.
Speed.
Fast as fuck, boy.
Yeah. Yeah, so I did more technical things with the game because I already finished it. And, well, as I said, I don't remember much of the game, but I didn't feel like playing it again because I distinctly remember not really liking it when I was younger.
I should also say, even if the story's not amazing, at least the missions you do are kind of fun. The mission variety is pretty good. There's enough checkpoints.
It's more relatable in a certain sense because most people don't know what it's like to be a gangster. So that's just a fancy thing for GTA players. Bully is slightly more relatable, as in everyone has been to school to a certain degree. So most experiences are just exaggerated versions of school. So you can just relate in that regard.
Yeah.
So yeah, I understand the allure of the game. It's just that it doesn't gel with me very much because of the genres it is in.
Mm-hmm.
So, but
one other tip, if you do want to go for 100%, which is really worth it actually, like all the things you can collect give you very nice rewards.
Yeah.
Like the rubber band ball Pop, 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 pop. Fucking
In,
amazing weapon.
contrary to recent / more modern releases, completing things gets you things instead of trophies.
Yeah.
Which is...
Well, this edition has some of that.
Yeah.
Like, some of the collection quests are literally just, oh, now you have an outfit. Yay. But, yeah, things like the scooter or the go-kart or the rubber band ball, those are great rewards.
Yeah.
But if you want to do that, I highly recommend getting the Scholarship Edition, because it has a minigame, it has a class, which is Geography, which is hilarious to watch Americans play, because they don't know anything on the map. But if you complete it, you can cheat, by the way, nobody will know.
No.
But if you complete that, then you get the location of collectibles marked on your minimap and your world map, which makes collecting 75 rubber bands randomly spread around a school and an entire city a whole lot easier.
Yeah.
A lot more bearable, I should say.
I should add that if you want to play the PC version, go to PC Gaming Wiki.
Yeah, they have a patch.
Well, not even a patch. Just in general, if you want to play a game on PC and it's an older game or it's a janky game, go to PC Gaming Wiki. They will give you the patches you need, fixes for things and things you should look out for.
Yeah.
Just in general, good tip to have. Also, if you want to play an emulated version, the Wii version is probably best, but you should really try to remap the controls.
Yeah, that's always something, right? I mean, Wii is very easy to emulate, but the controls are always going to be kind of iffy.
Yeah, and if you emulate the PS2 version, I'm pretty sure it targets 30 FPS. It seldom gets there. So if you overclock the CPU on PC's X2, you can get there, but that's once again more advanced controls that most people don't want to mess with. So I'm just do yourself a solid and play the Wii version instead if you are gonna emulate it.
Right. With that said, do you have a different nomination for the next game?
Well, we've already talked about this a bit. He doesn't remember.
No.
As I said,
How many glasses of whiskey is that ago?
Knowing you, a bottle or 7. Sorry, had to do it. Moving on. We talked about Pokemon because
yes.
I haven't played Pokemon in a bit and I wanted to play Pokemon and you were like, well, fuck it, then we'll make it a challenge. And I was like, you speak my language.
I do.
Also, the last fucker who actually wanted to race me in Pokemon kind of got off badly. I'm not saying we're racing because that's stupid. Because there's no way you win.
No, there's definitely.
Okay, good. Good. He didn't take the bait. I kind of hoped he'd take the bait, but he's smart. He doesn't.
That's the difference between you and I. If you're given a challenge, you go mad and just you get overcompetitive. If you give me a challenge, I'm gonna back out because I don't trust you. I don't trust people who challenge me to things.
So I think it's too short of a challenge to do a singular Pokemon game, personally, because Pokemon, literally, you can play it within a day easily. So I wanted to make it a little bit more challenging. So I kind of wanted to do 3 gens, 3 or 2. Because the first 3 gens are the shorter games that are easily understandable, that we've both kinda experienced. I know you only experienced up till 2, or actively participated up to 2, I believe.
Yeah, I finished 1 and 2 long ago.
Yeah, 1 and 2 being yellow and gold in this case.
Yeah, and I started 3 once. Never went far in it. I believe I played Emerald.
Yeah, that is the best one. So I propose that we play yellow, Platinum, Crystal, and Emerald, the compilations of the first 3 gens.
Okay, yeah.
And I don't want to make it a Nuzlocke, but I do want to make it a randomizer.
Interesting.
Because Nuzlocke is hard to keep track of, and you can easily lie about everything with that. Not saying that we would, but a randomizer is just easier in that regard. And since you never finished the 3rd gen, I'd say we just play the 3rd gen normally.
Okay, yeah, that's agreeable. Yeah, that sounds good.
So we play yellow randomized, Crystal randomized, but Emerald normal.
Normal.
And
if you play...
and one thing different I'd like to say, which starter do you want in Emerald? Because I don't want us to have the same run, if you know what I mean.
I don't know the Pokemon in Emerald.
You have Swampert. I'm saying the third evolution here, the full evolution, which is Water Ground. Yeah, you have Blaziken, Fire Chicken.
Fire Chicken?
That's fighting
no.
fire.
Fuck no, I want some KFC actually.
Okay. And you have Trico, that evolves into Sceptile. And that's, I believe, pure grass. I might be wrong in that. But which type would you like? If you want an easy time, you take Swampert. Because, well, first few gyms are easily rockable with that Pokemon. Blaziken is just the default choice because it's the coolest. And nobody wants Sceptile.
Okay, I think I go with Swampert, but that is mostly a thematic thing because I always pick the water Pokemon.
Well, then I'll take Blaziken.
Because what I mentioned to you as well, if I did a run of Pokemon Yellow where I picked my favorite Pokemon, I would have an all-water team.
Yeah, you said that. Very fluid.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's been said.
Yes.
Moving on to...
How's the porn doing?
Yeah, I don't even remember what you challenged me to, honestly.
Fuck.
As I said, I have no notes for this one.
Battle Can.
Yeah, I haven't made time for it.
Well, then that challenge stays for you.
Battle Can.
And you challenged me to Yoshi Ochi, which was...
Yoshi Ochi!
I don't think it's fun so much for the content of that hentai. It is fun for the fucking translation of it.
The subtitles are fun.
I'm not even sure if that joke extends to the actual anime, but the way it's the most shared versions of it are distributed, the subtitles are fucking insanely hilarious.
Shoot your goo, my dude!
Oh my god.
But just the idea of it is humorous and stupid and very lighthearted.
Yeah, because it's about an apartment complex, rickety old apartment complex, and there's this one guy living on the first floor, and one day his neighbor above him, I think that's what it's called, right?
Yeah.
Above neighbor. She does dancing, and at one point she crashes through the floor, lands on him, and oh no.
Guess what?
Oh no, it went in.
Oopsie whoopsie.
And from there, it just kind of turns into a fucking...
It devolves into a fuckfest.
It's a disaster, and a disaster of a fuckfest, yes.
Yes.
But with... It's not very special in terms of animation, but
definitely not.
In terms of animation and setups, but it is very fun, just thanks to the stupid subtitles.
Yeah, and just, I think the context is quite fun, as it's very un-Japanese. There's no thought work behind it, it's just lol fucking, pretty much.
Yeah, but there's a few of those.
There's setup, but...
Yeah, there's actually setup. Like, maybe that's a middle ground, because you have... hentai OVAs that are just literally no context, all fuck. That's fine, but this actually has some setup. Yeah, if you want some laughs, then it's recommended.
Yeah, I like this lighthearted tone.
Yeah. So, do you have one for me?
For now, yeah, I haven't thought about any of this. So
you find something.
You're gonna talk about the touchy topic, I presume. So
yes.
I'll go and look for something.
You guys better be fucking thankful. I'm sacrificing lunch for this. It's 12:30. What the fuck?
Oh god.
Oh my god. Yes. So, as a touchy topic, we brought Ocarina of Time, which some people...
Whoa. Calm down there, buddy. You brought Ocarina of Time. Don't pull me into this.
Which for some reason, some heretics claim is not one of the greatest games ever made that still lives up to its original release.
No, it aged horribly.
And I am sadly sitting opposite one such heretic.
I mean, I'm just a general heretic. I fucking hate the N64 in its entirety.
Well, then you play the fucking 3DS port of it.
Yeah, and it's still horrible. I mean, they fixed some things, but that's just, I fucking hope so. It's been like 20 years.
What is there to fix? It's a perfectly fine puzzle adventure game.
Is it though?
It sincerely is. I'm not fucking with you. That guy went very fast.
Well, hard, not fast. You can't go fast in the Netherlands. There are no streets to go fast on. But yeah, you ramble on about why it's good. I'm still looking for.
I fucking will. Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time is just all around a good, fun adventure. You start out little kid, leaving your secluded home in the forest to go help the kingdom, and on the way you experience wondrous things, meet strange new people, befriend those people, and they help you save the world, and that's just perfectly good adventure material. I don't know what else to complain about that.
Yeah, you can watch the Polinic Girls Attack.
Oh, I've heard about that one.
Yeah.
Alright, I'll watch that.
Sorry, I had to find it again.
Perfect.
Well,
yeah.
The context of the game. Okay.
And on the way, you do little quests. You go into dungeons. You solve puzzles. You fight bosses. It's perfectly good material.
Okay, first off, Water Temple. I'm not going to say anything else besides that because everybody knows at this point.
Yeah, everybody's just a little bitch.
No. It's genuinely horrible. The swimming controls in Ocarina of Time are horrid. The entire controller is horrid.
You don't swim in Ocarina of Time. You just go down. You just put on the boots and they take you down. And then you go through...
slow, unmoving, drudging bullshit.
It's not that slow. The area isn't that big. So even if you're slow, it's like... Pfft. Okay,
yeah, still.
It takes 30 seconds longer to get to the other room than it would normally take. Yeah, that's a bit slower.
Why? But that's not the point. Water Temple is just generally disliked. It's technically not very nicely done. Besides the absolute glitch fest as it also is. The combat...
All games from that era have glitches.
I mean, yes. But this one, for Nintendo standards, has some pretty damning glitches. The combat, I fucking hate it. The reach, especially as small Link, is utterly horrible. Things you think to hit, do not hit. So often.
That just sounds like you're not very good at the game then, mate.
No, seriously, you have your little fucking sword and you have to be here to hit stuff. You can't hit stuff with the tip of your sword. That's just horrible.
Yeah,
and no. But you can't defend that with lol get good.
No,
that's horrible.
I'm not gonna say get good, but you have ranged weapons. You have sea targeting.
No. In the beginning you don't.
Yeah, you do.
You have the fucking nut that you shoot that does fuck all.
Yeah.
And you only have like 5. Which you have to defeat the enemy for with your normal swordy attack. And you can't make an entire different...
I have never run out of pellets for the slingshot.
Well, good on you then. Certain people do, though.
You can have like fucking 30 of them.
Yeah, in the beginning you do. Otherwise,
Wait,
as I said, technically the game is just annoying. It didn't age very well, and all the friends you make is purely text-based and cutscene-based. That's a bit hollow.
How is that hollow? That is... What do you want it to be, then? What?
If they're gonna be friends, they do something. But they're just story context things. Only story context things. Which is fine for an older game, but it's, as I said, it's kinda hollow. It kinda just feels like a waypoint. Do the thing.
Well, do you really think they would have made like a system where you can have your friends just walk around with you and help you on the adventure? Yeah, that would have been cool, but how are you gonna realize that on a fucking N64?
Well, it ain't that hard. Just Nintendo never really wrote proper code for an N64. As pretty obvious. I mean, they can make Mario 64 run on the 60 FPS just because they use a better compiler. So, it's not a problem about performance. Because that's not... The N64 is pretty fast. It's just that they optimized it horribly. But that's an N64 issue. The game just ages so badly. As in, rather play Majora's Mask all day long than ever play Ocarina of Time ever again.
Why? That has the same fucking aesthetics.
It's not an aesthetic problem. That's never been my problem with The Legend of Zelda.
Okay, so you're not referring to texture quality.
Oh, no. Just the general performance of it. Majora's Mask does run a little bit smoother. It's not much better, but the general performance is a bit better. Moving on, the Majora's Mask the gameplay loop is more fun. I think it's for me. The 72-hour system is just a lot nicer. You just go back and find a way to play it better. Hyrule Field is unnecessarily big in Ocarina of Time. It's just a hollow field you run across, especially in the beginning when you don't have the horse yet. Horsey.
Yeah, a lot of the things you mention now are just things that I'm like, yeah, okay, you run into that, but that's eminently fixable.
Yeah, fixable.
You mentioned,
but why didn't they?
No, it's perfectly fixable by you. You mentioned, oh yeah, you don't have much reach with the sword. Yeah, but you slash at fucking whoosh, 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 you go super fast. If you don't hit it with the tip of your sword, then a second later you're hitting it with the second attempt.
Yeah, but the distance control is not very good.
And if you have problems with the distance control, you get a boomerang that C-targets and tracks a target. You get
once again, later on in the game.
Oh, man, that's fucking early as fuck.
Still, later on. They expect you to fight with the sword and maybe with the fucking slingshot.
Yeah, the slingshot has like 30 ammo and fucking everything drops ammo for it.
Not everything, but close enough. It doesn't play nice for what it is to me.
Yeah, Hyrule Field has more potential.
Oh, a lot more. It's just an empty field most of the time, and some monsters spawn in it if it's nighttime.
Yeah, but as you say, you can get a horse basically out of the gate once you're in the adult phase. Yes,
but then it's still unnecessarily big. A big field. Once again, this is a problem with modern game design too. You don't need a big world. It needs to be an interesting world, and Hyrule Field is not interesting. If you want a field, that's fine. But make it interesting to a certain degree.
I think it has enough going on to warrant your initial trips to it. Because really, all you need to do is go from the forest to Hyrule Castle. And then you have one cycle of... I'm just gonna keep rambling while you figure that out.
Yeah, no, that's someone for a package, probably. Yeah.
Alright. So he won't be hearing my counter-arguments, but... that doesn't matter. I win anyway. But the first time you go through Hyrule Field is from the forest to the castle, and then you get one cycle through the day-night cycle. And that's just pretty cool. You get the atmosphere of the place in both time settings, and then you have to fend for yourself one night, which is quite thrilling. And then the next few times that you have to go through it, it's very quick. You go from Hyrule Castle to Death Mountain, which is only a short walk. And then you go from there to Zora's Domain, which is also a relatively short walk. Yeah, it's not as fast as it could be, but it's plenty fast for what you... it's not that you have to like backtrack through an entire boring fields 27 times across this entire game, because, as Pettry said, you get a horse after... those initial first few trips.
But you're willing to forgive a lot of it technical shortcomings just because you like the game.
And after the horse, you get warp songs, so you can just kind of go whoosh, 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 whoosh all over the place, and you don't have to do the field at all, unless you want to do a few optional things.
Yes, but that's not the only issue. But, as I said, I haven't played it in a long time, because I did like it. But the better thing is then... why don't we play it sometimes side by side and just contrast between us? Because obviously you like the game and are willing to forgive it for everything, and I dislike the game and want to discredit it for anything.
Oh yeah, we can definitely do that. But as I said, there's a big movement of people that are trying to like retroactively discredit the legacy of this game, and that sounds extreme. But there's people that are...
I'm not discrediting what it was at the time. But it just isn't as good as people give credit for.
I think there's a lot of push for a game that people want to, because it's still such a well-lauded game. Back when Unigamer was still a thing, it was the #1 ranked game on there.
I mean,
there's a lot of people that want to argue, well, it's aged poorly, and they get let me just say it, they get nitpicky over it, like, oh yeah, this time travel mechanic doesn't quite make sense. Oh, you get the gloves that make Link strong, but you still push blocks at the same speed.
I mean, that's just world inconsistencies. They always had that. That's just a Zelda thing.
That's just indeed. That's exactly it.
I'm just my issues are pretty much purely technical with it.
And of course it has aged, but I still think it's aged very well, because when you look at Majora's Mask 3D, you see what happens when Nintendo tries to modernize its old games.
In what regard?
Majora's Mask 3D has, like a lot of the bosses used to be just endurances where you have to figure out what to do, and now they put big glowing eyes on all of them, so you know exactly what you must do.
To be fair, the N64 version kinda does that. It's just that emulation throws a lot out of it. The N64 just stays a weird thing.
I think it's an atmospheric game. Its visuals are dated, but still plenty atmospheric, and yeah, it has a few gameplay technical things that are worth complaining about, but which I feel are severely overstated by the critics of the game.
Yeah, I just for me the inconsistencies in gameplay and technical things are very annoying in general.
Because if you play something like A Link to the Past or the Oracle games, yeah, those games are smaller, but if you need to get from A to B, you're still going, oh, fuck, gotta go through these areas again and again and again.
To be fair,
especially
for me in the Oracle games, because those are the only Zelda games I can finish, the Capcom ones. Mm-hmm. For some reason, I just don't like the Nintendo Zelda games in general.
Yeah, you like the flagship games.
I like Oracle of Seasons, and the Ages, and Minish Cap. Those are the only ones I can properly finish. Well, I remember, it's been a long time, as I said. In Oracle of Ages, you usually don't backtrack a lot, and you don't have to get back to a lot of stuff. I mean, if you want to restock really badly, you could, but
you don't have to backtrack a lot if you know what you need to do and where you need to go.
Yeah, but in those games, that's a lot easier.
There's less places you could go, but it's still plenty. If you miss one dialogue or you just don't know where a certain place is or how to get there, then it's suddenly you might find yourself going back and forth quite a lot.
I mean, yeah, but that's on you then. I mean, if you miss stacked box, that's kinda on you then. In
a way, but
I mean, that's the same with Ocarina of Time. If you don't know where to go, you're just gonna wander on Hyrule Field, go into any place and see what the things you can do. Can I throw boomerang at this? No, does nothing. Then you're just gonna reiterate the same issue.
Yes, but in 3D space, there's a lot more you can do about that. Because the 3 core areas that you visit in Ocarina of Time are very clearly landmarked. You see from a distance. If you go to the forest and for some reason you don't speak English, like I did when I first played it, you look around and you're like, hey, in the distance there's a castle. Probably should go there. And then you go there and you find unique characters that give you more story, and you notice, hey, I can proceed this way. And then you get out and you get a cutscene showing you the big mountain. Like, oh, I gotta go to the mountain.
Yeah, but then again, misconstruction is also a thing, because as a friend of mine said, he had misinterpreted the entire story because he was a dumb young child.
Yeah, that was me, by the way.
No, Robin too.
Oh god.
And he didn't know where the fuck to go in Ocarina of Time. So, now he can finish it easily, but and me probably too, but I just don't want to, honestly.
Well, you have to. You just proposed to be played back-to-back at some point.
Oh yeah, but I do anything I hate. You know this.
True.
I'm a sucker for fucking punishment. But I think in 2D space, it's usually easier to backtrack, and there are less context things that could go wrong. Mm-hmm. And as you said, the games are just inherently smaller. And that's not a demerit to the N64 games, but yeah, just playing those is... How do I say this?
Let's just do that thing we mentioned. We play it together sometime, and then we report back.
Yeah. This is going to be a loathsome experience for me, because every time I try and play an N60 or a Zelda game in general, because Breath of the Wild, I like the game, but the moment I can stray off the main path, I do, and I just get stuck collecting chickens. I think I have 14 hours in my save file on the Switch.
Maybe with your new medicine, you might be able to fix that.
Yeah, might be. Still probably not gonna, because I just don't like the characters and the art. As I said, I don't have problems with it. It just doesn't gel with me at all. So, but that's just my general dislike of fantasy stuff.
Maybe.
Probably.
But yeah, let's report back on that.
Yeah.
And with that said, let's end this.
Because you want lunch.
I want my fucking burger.
Yeah, next time I'll just collect some more arguments. As in, I'll play the game before.
Okay. Well, this has been the Main Protagonist podcast. Tohmo is about to roll off his table.
Yeah.
We're about to have lunch. I was Casper, and this was the local youth who takes all his opinions from South Park.
Yeah.
Can you end us on one last hot take?
Fuck. Don't get vaccinated.
Because it's the Jews.
Yes,
the Jews
always.
The Jews own all the vaccinations.
Obviously.
Kyle!
Well, have a nice day then. Bye-bye.
Bye.